We're going to turn this over now to Justice Miller for the liaison reports.
Thank you, Chief. We have two reports today. The first is from Judge Gary Nadler, who is on the phone and will report on Mendocino. And the second is Judge So and myself, and we will report on Los Angeles and our visit to Los Angeles. And I'm going to ask Judge Nadler and Judge So and I to please remember that these are limited to 5 minutes. So Judge Nadler, and we appreciate you appearing by phone, and we are glad to hear your voice and glad that you are recovering well. So good morning, and thank you for this report.
Good morning, Justice Miller, Chief. Is the PowerPoint queued up and ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll start. And I am pleased to report that I have had the honor to visit the Mendocino Court a few months ago. As always, it was an informative and an enjoyable visit. My liaison visit was facilitated by Presiding Judge John Benke, Assistant Presiding Judge Ann Moorman, and Court Executive Officer Christopher Rule. There were 7 judges and 1 child support commissioner in Mendocino. To start with the basics, Mendocino has a population of approximately 89,000 people. The primary court is in Ukiah, with the second court in Fort Bragg, known as the 10-Mile Court. About 1/3 of the voters reside in the West County. The Fort Bragg facility is necessary, as the ride from Ukiah to Fort Bragg is very challenging and would be a considerable barrier were there not another court available on the coast. The drive has been termed by the local bar, by the way, as Dramamine Drive. The Mendocino Court has instituted some innovative practices which merit mention. In addition to its successful adult drug court, it has a very successful behavioral health court or mental health court. In collaboration with justice partners and mental health community organizations, the court includes misdemeanors and felonies, except those involving violent crimes and sex offenses. The mental health issues are addressed using the available resources in the county with great success, both in the Ukiah and the 10-Mile courts. The impact of the program is dramatic, with a significant decrease in arrest and custody time, also resulting in significant savings in tax dollars. Between 2011 and 2016, arrests dropped from 50 to 1 for graduates of the program. During the same period, the number of days in jail went from 887 to 1 post-graduation for participants. Mendocino has also instituted a family dependency drug court, which has served 28% of those children entering foster care. The program is comprehensive, involving counselors, child welfare, social workers, parents, and necessary ancillary services. As a result of this program, children averaged over 379 fewer days in foster care. The bar graph shown here compares program graduates and those that are not participating in the FDDC. With regard to parents who graduate, 90.6% reunify with the children. Likewise, if the parent does not graduate, the reunification number is only 44%. Thus, the likelihood of reunification is twice as high if the parent graduates from this really exemplary court. And significantly, when a parent graduates from the court, almost none of the children suffer a recurrence of maltreatment. And this is a dramatically lower rate than non-graduates, both in the county of Mendocino and of the state in general. Segueing into the courthouse issues, as with so many courthouses in our state, Mendocino has considerable facility deficiencies. A new courthouse has been approved to complete site acquisition, and after that, on indefinite hold until there is sustainable funding. There has already been a public investment of over $1 million by the city of Ukiah, along with considerable local investment. The court notes considerable deficiencies which presently exist. In custodies are transported by van and enter through a public entrance. Juveniles are likewise transported through public areas, and all in custodies pass through jury assembly room, public hallways, the sole elevator in the building. This photo was typical, with in-custodies brought past the jury assembly room on the right and waiting jurors in the same hallway. The access issues include elevators not stopping at every courtroom floor. Now, I attended the Cal County's educational event last year, and some of the judges requested that I include a brief video of the presiding judge, and I've tried to do that here. This is Presiding Judge John Banke describing some of the issues. The photo on the left is an example of the affected layout, and if I could ask that the video be played then.
We have a jury trial ongoing now in Department F, which is to the left. Down these stairs, up that little group of stairs, and around to the left. The elevator does not go down to that landing or to that floor. So jurors, prisoners, anyone who wants to get to that courtroom either has to ride the one elevator to the top and then walk down this flight of stairs and up that flight, or they can take the elevator to 2 floors below and walk up 1 flight of stairs to get there. There's no wheelchair access, there's no handicapped access. A person with a disability essentially was unable to serve as a juror in that courtroom, which is our primary misdemeanor trial department. And then when you get down here, when the juvenile cases are heard around to the right in Department G. And so all the people that wait for juvenile cases, because as you know, juvenile cases are confidential and private, so people waiting outside for their cases, we call essentially clog this entire hallway, which again the jurors have to walk through to get to the jury trials in Department F. It's also true, or excuse me, in Department G, it's also true that juveniles brought in custody have to walk up the stairs through the public to get to the holding room, which is behind Department F.
Thank you. As with many of our courthouses, Mendocino faces seismic safety issues. It's located near the Mayakama and San Andreas faults, and it is located in an area that is noted will suffer the highest likelihood of ground shaking in a seismic event. A minute on budgetary limitations. Because of its location, the courts is outside the coverage area of large providers, and as such, there is a much higher cost to the court to provide medical benefits. Over 10% of the court's budget goes to medical costs alone, and likewise, a significant portion of the employee's salary consists of the cost of benefits. Because of the competition with local businesses, the court has had difficulty attracting entry-level employees. Housing is difficult to find, and it is difficult to attract employees to relocate. It's also difficult to compete with counties such as Napa and Sonoma because of the size and location of those counties. All of this has caused insufficient staffing, which interferes with regular court functions. Even if all employees are present, clerk and courtroom positions are barely covered. If there is an ill employee, supervisors and managers must cover. And of course, this leads to difficulty completing the necessary reporting, which may affect the court's allocation for its budget. As I alluded to earlier, the Mendocino judges are extremely dedicated to providing access to justice. To address the budgetary limitations, in addition to the specialty courts, which I noted earlier, the court has focused on reducing the caseload and reducing delays. Considering that the budget prohibits use of research attorneys and the staffing limitations, I must say that the judges do an extraordinary job on behalf of the citizens of Mendocino. This concludes my report. Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Justice Miller, for the opportunity to meet with this exemplary group of judicial officers, the CEO, and the staff.
Thank you, Judge Nadler.